There he is.
Perfect
Hey
time.
man, sorry dudes. That whole time zone kind of threw me off.
No reason to explain. No reason to explain.
It's
Yeah.
daylight savings time. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
And then who was I texting with?
That would be me.
Okay, because I was like, man, I think they might have just dropped me.
No. We got into another set of music, so that's
Okay.
yeah. So we just ended that last set. So
And where are you guys at?
we are in New Jersey.
Okay, no wonder. All right, that makes sense.
So I'm John T. That's John K.
Nice to meet you, dudes.
Ruben,
I'm Ruben.
of Sack is joining us now, and we want to talk to him about the new album Ripper.
Yeah, man.
I've been listening to it extensively since it came out, and I'm loving it.
We just played 3 tracks from
Yes, we just played 3 tracks from it. And I guess you guys are going to do a couple. You got a couple dates coming up with Lagwagon, right?
Yeah, we do. I think it starts in the end of September, and then we have a few shows till like the end of the first week in October.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we're super stoked, man. That's gonna be a rad tour for sure.
Yeah, so because I know Lagwagon has like a full, I guess, a full tour.
Right.
They're only on it for a couple of days because there's like switching around with some.
Right. Yeah, they have a bunch of bands joining them for the 30-year anniversary. So
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
we were lucky enough to get him, the end of it essentially. So
Cool.
stoked.
So let's talk about what I am going to say is the greatness of Ripper because I'm really loving it. It just to me, it's a fun record.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a party, man. With always with Zach. We're kind of
I
used to
love the
that.
album cover. That alone just screams party. It just looks like you guys are just fucking around, having fun.
I like the color theme. It's pretty rad. I was bummed that we couldn't get records out on time. But it's on the works. But on a record it'll look even cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So through COVID, right?
Uh-huh.
Did that push everything back for you guys as far as like getting the album out?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, COVID just set everyone back. We had started the band. Well, Kody restarted the band right before COVID, and then we got hit with COVID, which set us back mainly on getting this record out on time. I think everything is just part of COVID. Everyone is pressing, and then some artists are pressing just insane amounts of records. So, it just got super delayed. There isn't a whole lot of places you can go to press a record. So that would be like, a good thing. If someone can come up with a fast way of doing that, that'd be rad.
Right. Yeah.
So I know you guys use Bandcamp as well. Did you use that in the interim to actually getting the record pressed? In the meantime, just to get it out.
Well, it all came out at the same time through like all the outlets, like Bandcamp and Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, whatever, So we had the Bandcamp with the earlier releases, I think the Live on Quarantine was on Bandcamp. But doing all these tours and stuff, we really didn't have a Spotify for the longest time. So it was hard to find Sack music,
Yeah.
And then you type Sack and some fucking band from I don't even know where comes up. Yeah, dude.
So Ruben, funny story. I started doing my due diligence to come up with questions, and I went on Wikipedia, which is a bad word, and I start getting these questions. I'm like, I don't think they're from Europe. This is
No.
So thankfully, I made the correlation that it's the wrong band because I'd be asking you questions and you'd be saying, "What the fuck is wrong with you? That's not us."
Right. Yeah. It's a trip, man. But it's still kind of weird. You know, you have to like type it a certain way. You know, and once you find it, I tell people save that thing because
Yeah,
who fucking knows what's gonna come up. You
Yeah.
know.
that's true.
But I mean, it's cool. Like there's been good traffic through the Spotify and all that. You know, we did a couple of videos for that record that I thought came out super cool. Like the Wet Banana was like a more like a lyric type video, but it was fun to see all these kids and adults just fucking themselves on those goddamn sleeping slides, man. You know.
It's funny because it made me think of there was an amusement park out here called Action Park.
Yeah.
All right.
There is actually a documentary about it because it was deemed the most dangerous,
Unsafe. Yeah.
unsafe park in America.
Lawsuits out the ass.
And
That's awesome.
if you ever get a chance to watch it, it's actually a pretty good watch because they talk about how the park was just built basically for people to just and everybody who worked there knew, like, listen, that's all we did all day was deal with people getting their asses kicked on these rides. You know, like the luge ride was like one of the worst ones because it was just you sliding down a cement tube.
It just sounds fucking crazy.
Oh, it's hysterical.
It was
man.
like you were on a skateboard just going down this thing. You'd
Oh my God.
Yeah, oh yeah, people got hurt all the time. So
Yeah.
so when I saw the video for Wet Banana, I was like, oh my God, this totally reminds me of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then LARP was
Yeah, Laura
fucking.
got that video, right? Okay.
LARP was crazy, man. We actually found a bunch of LARPers up in Fort Collins, and they were really cool. Like, you know, we signed our waivers and everything, and got into a match with those dudes, and we got our asses kicked. But it was an awesome experience. You know, it was just fun, man. You know, like we did it pretty quick. You know, super low budget, but I think it came out pretty cool. And I really like that song anyway. You know.
Yeah, that's a good song. That's one of the ones. For me, Wet Banana, LARP, Mr. Bong, I love that song, man. I love the happiness of it, you know.
Their Bong is like a whole story. You know.
Yeah.
And it's a true story.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah. So we do have a Mr. Bong.
Right, okay.
I think it's upstairs somewhere, but yeah, you know, it gets used pretty frequently.
Right.
So it's all over the house. But yeah, I mean that's a whole story. It's super fun, man. You know, like some dude throwing a crazy ass party in his trailer and gets his bong stolen, you know, and the whole night. It was a good candidate for the video too, you know, but I think that would have taken a little more work.
A little more. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
You know,
I love that song, man. It's so heavy. It's all.
yeah, and it's super heavy, like
That's what I was
Yeah,
saying.
it's a good riff.
like you know, into the Dayglow abortions kind of.
And you know, it's funny that you say that because I was going to say that you guys do have a little bit more, for me, a classic sound.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more like rock and roll oriented. Like it's street rock is what we call it, you know.
Okay.
Like there's so many influences, you know, like everyone is on a different band, you know, like as far as what they listen to, you know. Kody likes a lot of metal. So that's Matt, you know, Felipe. I don't really even know what he listens to. Same with Ray, you know. They listen to everything. They're like more, I don't know. I think they have a better understanding or appreciation to other types of
All types of music. Right?
all types of music.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in like the same thing that I've been for the last 20, 30 fucking years, you know, like I always listen to the same music, but it's also very diverse, you know. I listen to a lot of shit. So I think putting all that together, you know, like it's a fun way to write because Kody comes up with the main idea and, you know, we'll play it for us and record it, and, you know, and then we all get to put our own flavor in a way, you know. So, and record in the studio was awesome. You know, I mean, it was a lot of work, you know. How many songs? Like 12, I think, on that record.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, so That's another fucking thing, you know. Like we one of the we had a COVID issue during recording, so we had to get out of the studio and then come back after a few weeks, you know, and all that stuff. But yeah, it was kind of stressful, but the good stressful, you know, like really pushing each other to get the best out of each one of us, you know, as far as our musicianship, you know, like trying to you know, get out of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
For me, at least, it was like that. You know, like I'll have Ray come in the live room and be like, "Dude, I'm listening to this type of feel and some weird ass shit that I've never heard before," and like he explains it with his mouth. You know, like whatever the fuck. You know, it's like I don't know what you want. You know?
So he doesn't demo his songs.
We demo and we like practice like how we like thought we were gonna record it. Then we go in the studio and it fucking just changes, you know. But in a positive way, to where it's like, oh, I'm hearing, you know, it's just easier when you like take every single instrument and you start piecing everything together, you know, into like what's gonna ultimately be the record, you know, and we did that with every song, you know, and try to be as creative as we could and use a lot of fucking shit that was there, you know, like the blasting room is just so rad. There's everything, man, you know, and then we party, you know, we stay up there and hang out, and that was rad, you know. I mean, we'll be up all night drinking beers and just talking about the band, you know, so you get a lot of motivation being there with, and you know, the guys are fucking rad. Everybody in the band. There's no drama, you know.
I see the mid cave there. Does that get lots of use in downtime?
Which one?
Behind you, it looks like
Yeah, this is the dark alley. It's the Sack bar, you know. This is where all the pictures on the record were taken.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, well, most of them, you know, unless it's like I can't even tell you like what pictures are on there, right? But like the cover,
Yeah.
that was right here. Yeah, we hang out here a lot because this is where we practice.
All right. So then I got to ask, since you are at the Sack Bar, what is your drink of choice?
Well, oh, hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Did the audio change at all?
We're getting a little feedback.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, cool. I have this. I do this like things with my drums, and I use this loop back.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then, but I'm too cheap to buy it, so I use the free version. So every once in a while, it throws this like fucking crazy ass distortion or whatever. Anyway, drink of choice. I don't know. I'm a beer guy.
Beer? Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know if you guys ever tried pisco.
No.
It's like a Peruvian brandy. It's like distilled almost like if you were to make wine in a way, because you use grapes.
Right. Okay.
But through the process, it does. It's like it's hard to explain because I don't know how to do it, but I've seen it done. Like I took these tours through some of these like very rustic distilleries back home, and the process is insane, man. And like they make different kinds. I have one right here actually. This one though, it's just like a clear type drink.
Okay.
This bottle doesn't have much to show, but I like it with that's where pisco sour comes from. Pisco sour is I think 2 parts pisco. It has an egg white. You when you shake it, you use ice, and then 2-part lime juice and some what's that sweet fucking deal? The syrup, simple syrup.
Oh, simple syrup. Yeah. Okay. All right.
You shake it. It's fucking awesome. That's it. I love drinking those wherever I can find them.
Right. So so the base is what's it called? Pisco?
Yeah, pisco. Pisco.
All right. Cool.
And it's like a total Peruvian thing, but Peru and Chile have their fucking fights over it. You know, like who fucking. No, it's from Chile. Well, it's from fucking Peru. There's a place in Peru called Pisco.
Right. Okay.
You know, there isn't a place in Chile called Pisco, so let's just not be crazy here. You know, it's 100% Peru.
Settle. That's it. Settle.
And I have a very, very special place in my heart for Chile, you know, because I love it there. But it's not fucking theirs. It's just the way it is. You know, they have to accept that. So another way to drink it, if you have like a big liquor store, you can probably find it. Just read the bottle and make sure it's made in Peru, because the Chilean one tastes like ass. It's not.
Okay.
And so you get this like a skinny glass, kind of tall, you know, like I don't know, like a rum and coke type of glass sort of thing.
Yeah, I know which one. Yeah.
Fill it with ice. Well, if you use ice cubes, you know, 3 big ones.
Right. Okay.
A very healthy shot of pisco in there.
Okay.
Some lime, like, you know, squeeze it if you can. Don't use the fucking.
Yeah, use fresh. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, you know, about the same for the lime, you know. Right. Okay. And then fill it up with ginger ale.
Okay.
And then I put a little bit of bitters on there, and that drink is fucking amazing.
Really?
Like, if you can make it, it's really easy. You don't have to shake it. You don't have to do anything.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and it fucking rules, man, because it's like, especially in the summer, you know, all the ice is there. You know, it's like if like a margarita had balls, you know, and it was actually good. You know, this is like what you can compare it to. Okay. Essentially, you know, so that would be like my drink of choice if I was doing something like, you know, like hard liquor. But, you know, I don't find pisco here as much. Although, you know, later today. So this is funny because the Peruvian independence is July 28th. So we're really close. And I live in like a kind of like what at some point was like a Hispanic neighborhood. You know, it was a lot of like Mexicans and Peruvians. Well, not Peruvians, I'm the only one here, but, you know, I feel like home. Everyone speaks Spanish, you know, it's like rad. Now all of a sudden, you know, you got gentrified, so I'm the last Mexican here standing. But there's a park called La Raza Park, just a few blocks east of my house. And today, actually, in the afternoon, they're gonna have a like this festivities or whatever, you know, to celebrate. Like there's an embassy here, so they're celebrating it's like an embassy, whatever the fuck. And they're doing like, they're putting in like a bunch of little restaurants are coming, whatever, with Peruvian food. So if they do have pisco there, I'm gonna buy all the fucking bottles I can carry. There you go. Stash them here, and then, you know, because you can make this also with like flavors. You can do like you can use strawberries, you know, or whatever, and kind of make it fruity. I don't really like it like I like the original, but the pisco sour you can make it like out of anything, you know.
Okay.
So and they're really good, you know. Like I said, it's like a better version of a margarita, like a margarita for fucking badasses, you know.
Because I'm a tequila drinker. So,
yeah, I have this one here. Someone left at the bar.
Oh, okay. I have seen that before. Yeah, I've seen that label before. Yeah.
You know, there's a tequila that I don't know if you can find it out there, but it's called Fortaleza, and it's handmade. You know, same process as the pisco in a way, like, you know, and that comes from like, it's straight from Mexico. They don't do it here, you know, and it's really fucking good.
Is it really?
You just like drink it, or do you mix it with anything?
No, I like good sipping tequila.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
One ice cube, you know, and just something that I could sip. You know.
There are some drinks you can't put ice in it even because you ruin them, you know.
Yeah. I like a small, like, just to bring it up, to bring the temperature up just a little bit. I don't want it cold. I want it. I want it above room temperature, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Azul is one that it's just expensive. Jesus Christ, man.
Oh fuck yeah! Dude. I mean, A shot of that here is like anywhere from $19 to $35, depends on where you go.
Yeah, because I had it at a restaurant one night, and I didn't even ask how much it was. I just said, "Dude, give me some."
Yeah.
Because you want a shot? I said, no. Yes, I want a shot, but I want you to put it in a rocks glass with one ice cube.
Yeah. The problem with that drink specifically is it like doesn't really taste like booze. Like, it's like so smooth, and I'll be fucking drinking that shit till I can't. I'm seeing double already.
Exactly. And it was
fuck.
It was like $28.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, man, you're gonna rip me off some more. But I was like, but then when I looked at the bottle, I had the classic, the white and blue bottle.
Yeah.
More. I'm seeing it more out here in restaurants.
Yeah.
Because it was never around. All of a sudden, it just kind of exploded here.
They make another one that's because that's the reposado, right? The one you're talking.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
They make another one that's a clear bottle, but it's got the same shape, but it's clear. Because the one you're talking, it's got like the blue stripes here and there, whatever the fuck it, yeah. And it's like it looks like a fucking lamp.
Yes, exactly.
It's like super weird.
Like a fucking.
It's like, oh, what's that drink?
I'm gonna rub it, and a genie's gonna come out.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's like it's a wild bottle. And,
what do you wish for? More tequila.
Yeah, so I like that. That's
pretty good. Yeah. So.
Tequila. We like when we were in Chicago, we were getting a lot of Malort.
Oh, okay.
This thing is gross, man.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in years.
I wouldn't even clean a toilet with that. So bad.
It's good to
know. But once you get all Sack is just like a party band.
Good.
We fucking party.
It seems like there's not as many of those bands left.
Yeah, they're all fucking too worried about what they're gonna tell Trump or Biden or the price of gas or whatever. So it bumps everyone out. Or the girl songs, we're rockers, dude. We want to rock out and just fucking be aggressive and not in a good way, you know what I mean? Not like beat people up, but we just fucking calm and shred and fucking drink. We're in Colorado, so we are fucking potheads. So much so I forgot I had to be an hour ahead of time or two.
Right, yeah.
He just smoked before you got on. He said, "Can I smoke on the back porch?" And go ahead.
Yeah, straight up.
We just went recreational. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So now it's like I don't have to hide in my car.
No.
Listen, I'm gonna just hang out on the deck and smoke. If that's cool,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and it's such a good thing, it really helps a lot of people. I know it helps me. I had like a lot of trouble sleeping, and weed helps. I'm fucking out like a light, but I've also been smoking weed since I was in high school, about 15. I'm 42 years old.
Yeah, I started when I was 14. I'm 52.
Yeah.
I've never really taken a break. I think I had to quit once for 30 days for a job.
Yeah.
And I ended up I get the job and they only kept me for a week and they said they didn't work. I'm like, do you realize that I sacrificed 30 days of getting high for this shit? At least let me work for 30 days at least, man. Let me get my time in,
Oh yeah.
Bastards.
Yeah, man, that was it's fun. I think the guys like to say that I play better when I'm stoned. I don't really share that.
Right.
I think it could go either way.
Right, yeah, exactly.
It could be really rad or it could be a total disaster.
Right.
So I try to stay, just on like I'm a big Cruise Light guy. I really like that beer, but I try not to get stoned before the shows, but after, yes.
Yeah. Because a lot of people don't understand you're playing a show. You get there so early. There's so much time from the time you get there to the time of almost nothingness. And that's why, you drink too much, you smoke too much, you just trying to fill that void.
You're ready to go to bed before you fucking got to play. I get it, man. Yeah, it's happened a lot, but this last tour was fucking rad.
Cool.
Yeah, the shows were awesome. Some weird ones, because we were playing like on a Monday or Tuesday, some towns, like Ohio. It's we don't know what to expect.
Smaller crowds on the weekdays.
Right. but it all turned out really good. I was pretty stoked. Nobody got sick or murdered or in jail, and so that's very, very good. So
with all those smaller places you play, Ruben, have you ever gone to a place and been surprised that the response that you've gotten? You're out west. Have you ever come east and been like, wow, I didn't know, like you said, hey, I didn't know we had a good following in Ohio or Kentucky or
right. I don't know. They all were kind of like they kind of averaged the same amount of people. There were some, like Chicago was pretty awesome. Like we got there and I can't remember what day. It was like a Sunday. It's a Pride weekend. There was a lot of shit going on. So I thought, man, I don't think it's gonna be as cool as I thought. And the first bands play, and there wasn't really much of a crowd until we got up there, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing all these people coming. Well, it helps to have Kody and Ray in the band, obviously. But yeah, it was fucking sick, man. So that kind of shit. McHenry was kind of like that too, because we're not in Chicago. So it's like the burbs kind of. So I'm like, I'm gonna come out and see Sack. And that place was packed. It was there. So shit like that. Same Kansas City. There was a good turnout. Green Bay was rad. The Midwest just has a really cool music scene. Like people actually go to shows. So it's Denver. The Denver show was fucking crazy.
Yeah,
it was fucking crazy, and it was like a big patio. So it was like an outdoor show sort of thing. So I was hoping that it wouldn't rain, because you don't never know what the fuck the weather's gonna do here in Denver. So, but yeah, it was fucking wild. That show was wild. So yeah, it's been good, man. People's loving the record, fuck. I don't know. I got
the name. The name Ripper. Do you want to explain what Ripper means?
Reaper has a lot of meanings. It just depends on how you use it, I guess. Like fucking someone will come and tell us, man, that song, that's a fucking ripper. Or you take a bong hit and like you start coughing. I was like, whoa, dude, you just took a ripper or what? I'll tell Ray, dude, you're ripping on the bass, or Luke, So yeah, it's like, I don't know, like what it actually means.
Was there, when you guys said, all right, what are we going to call the album? Was there like, hey, someone said, let's call it Ripper. Was there anyone that was like second thought, or you just like all said, yeah?
No, we went through like, because the first one is Get Wrecked.
Yeah.
And then we were thinking that Still Wrecked would have been a cool name.
Okay.
I was kind of into that one. Then there was Ripper, The Thesis, like we were gonna name it that too. Those were kind of like up on the top ones, And then we decided for Ripper, and I thought that like that's the best fitting name for this record, because the record is a total ripper, man.
Suicidal Tendencies had that one, Still Psycho after all these years.
Yeah,
so you can do like Still Wrecked after all these years.
Right. Yeah.
Album, you go on,
Get Wrecked is just such a fun album too. Like,
Yeah, and it's just, everything. It's just you guys just have this whole persona of just being this fun band, and it's so refreshing, because I think for me, growing up with the punk that I grew up with, and everyone was either political or
my girlfriend left me.
Right, exactly. The pop punk, obviously Descendants, and then it just like in the 2000s, everything really went commercial, and like every song was just like, you're Bowling for Soup and Good Charlotte, and a lot of those older bands were still putting stuff out, but it wasn't getting any recognition. And then like Dayglow Abortion, a lot of people don't know Dayglow Abortion.
Yeah, it's such a great band, We used to do like we call it Vinyl Sunday.
Okay.
Everyone will come down to the we rehearse. Like everything happens in this basement, man. It's fucking pretty cool. So we used to do these Sunday vinyl Sunday sessions, and Kody would come in all the time, and this other guy Justin that's on the record, he's Crash on the record, like the guy with the bong, the mustache.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a good friend, and then this other guy Elliot, and me, usually that was it. But anyone was welcome, and you bring whatever records you want that obviously I don't have. And then you play them, we had just one rule, you play the record, you get to flip it, and the whole record goes.
Okay.
So we'll fucking be here on a Sunday, for hours, just listening to records, and Kody one time brought a bunch of Dayglow, so I was just stoked on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I mean, it's not a very known band.
No.
I mean, it is, but it isn't, you know what I mean? Like,
In the underground, yeah.
Yeah,
They're out of Boston, I think.
I thought they were from Canada.
Were they from Canada?
No, I'll have to look that up.
No, they were from Canada.
Yeah, they're Canadians.
They played a lot of like
I think you're probably thinking American Sharks. I think they're from, they might not be from Austin, but they're from Texas, I think.
Okay.
Which is kind of like in that type of, that kind of sound.
Yeah.
Like kind of like heavy, like on the, like metal fucking sound.
Yeah. Well,
we use a fucking metal zone for I think for Mr. Bong, that old shitty pedal that, it's like super fucking very trashy,
Yeah.
I think we got some great guitar tunes on this record.
Oh yeah, mix wise, just the sound overall. I think everything.
Yeah.
The drums sound great, and everyone.
I love the sound of the drums.
I think a lot of people, non-musicians, don't realize how important the drum sound for any good record has to be.
Oh yeah, I mean it drives the whole band.
Yeah,
we spent a lot of time that morning. Me and Andrew, the engineer, like just picking the right drum for what we were gonna do. He already had like a kind of like a setup.
Right.
We changed a few things, but man, it was awesome. Like I use a Cooley bass drum. I think it was a 24-inch by maybe 20, so it was pretty deep. Had a lot of low end. I used this all 80s Tama fucking snare that I don't know where the fuck he found that. And it sounded. I mean, it's super. Like it has that Black Beauty sound, but a little more dirty. Oh, here's that shit again.
Can you still hear us, Ruben?
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think a lot of the stuff coming out of the blasting room just has a great drum sound.
Oh yeah, yeah. And Andrew is just such an amazing engineer. Very experienced. Well, everyone that works there really.
Right.
But he just knows, how to use that equipment and like what microphones to use. And I mean, fuck, there were microphones in the room just as many as outside the room. Because he fucking records everything. And I love the tones, the guitar tones. The bass is fucking a ripper. The bass is just fucking insane in that record.
Yeah.
Like Ray is just all over the place, doing all kinds of cool shit. So it's very cool.
Yeah.
I like practicing with like sometimes just Ray too, because we just get into it, like fucking bass and drums.
Right.
We try to lock it down, That's what we try to do, is just to be as tight as we can so that we sound good. So we do put a lot of time on practicing, we haven't in a while because the boys are up in Canada fucking with Bottlerocket, but
yeah. What I Bottlerocket has shows in September as well.
Yeah. They're gonna be busy for a while.
Yeah. So these shows that you guys have coming up, is it still this lineup or is it?
Yeah. Well, Ray's got two babies essentially. One is gonna be born right as we were leaving, right before.
Oh, okay. All right.
Then Casper is just very young, so for this tour, I had to sit on it for a minute because he had to sit this one out. It was just too much, and plus he's got his older kids, and we took Luke, which is like the fifth, sixth member. I don't know. Like we have a guy that play a tambourine. Like we like to have all these people come hang out. But yeah, so Luke has been awesome. He's done a few tours with us because he's just that cool. And he's a great bass player, guitar player. Like he's got another band that's pretty rad too. The Slides, I think it's called. I don't know if it's the Slides or the Slates. One of the two. Pick one. And they're from Colorado Springs, and those guys are rad. We played with them the Denver show. And man, they brought it. I mean, they're a fucking fun band, Yeah, Sack, I like how loud it is, like we just fucking balls to the wall, man. Like it should be, like rock and roll style, like fucking just whatever.
What else? So when you guys finish these dates, what do you have? You have anything else on the horizon that you got coming up?
Well, I don't know. That would be something we need to figure it out. I think like after we don't have anything booked for after Lagwagon.
Okay.
It's also getting close to the holidays.
Right.
But I'm sure there'll probably be a show here and there, and then probably just call it a year, and wait and see what happens in 2023.
Yeah.
Should be a good year. We'll
definitely,
see.
Definitely like to get you out here on the East Coast, man.
It will be rad. We would love to go out there. We're hoping to get this record out soon too, like the actual vinyl.
Right.
Because right now it's all digital, and as far as anything physical, we have CDs, and they were gonna do tapes, but that fucking went out the window too. There's some deal there that didn't really line up, but they're coming back. I mean, everything's coming back. Like people are realizing how much better the old shit was. Just to have that piece of like your tape with like a little booklet, that you can look into. As opposed to just go on Spotify and like push a button. Like it has no soul, man.
Yeah, there are some. I've been seeing that trend. And that's something that because you guys are on what, Red Scare?
Yeah, well, for this last one, we're on Red Scare. Yeah, Toby thought that was a good idea.
Is that something that Red Scare you've seen like with their bands that they're doing? They're kind of pushing tapes, or is it just kind of like?
No, this would have came through like through Red Scare, but someone else was doing it. I don't know. I think Toby is more into like records and CDs, but I don't know if there's anything out there on tape out of Red Scare. I'll have to look into that, but yeah, it's a great label. I mean, he helps a lot. Having Toby it's awesome.
So he's more hands-on.
Yeah, he's super involved, and yeah, we appreciate everything he does for us.
Which is, in some cases is rare because you get some labels that just don't.
Yeah. Yeah, Toby's easy to work with, and he trusted us, like on this recording, like he never said change this or change that or do this or do that. He was just like, give me a record, and we did, and fuck, I think it came out rad.
Yeah.
It's a lot of bangers in that. Would you guys have like a favorite song?
Do I have a favorite song?
Yeah, both of you.
Mine's Mr. Bong. I like the heavier stuff.
Mr. Bong is really good for sure.
I like the heavier shit.
That's good. I like the what I Tried Suicide. I think is a good song.
Oh, it's it's a fucking that's funny.
Mr. Bong has that cool freaking riff.
Yeah.
That.
I'm personally, I really like Turf War.
Okay. All right.
That's a good song, but it's funny you said Suicide. One time we were getting ready for, I think we were doing the Live in Quarantine, so we were rehearsing, but we went up to Laramie. This is when Ray still had his house in Laramie. And I don't know what's up with him, man, but same here, he like lives in, Colorado now, but there's always a cop. Like he has a neighbor cop all the time, so we were fucking just shredding, and like we have the window open because it's summer, and the neighbor comes and he's like, hey man, I'm gonna have to ask you to stop. And Ray's like, oh sorry, we didn't think it was that loud. And he's like, It's not that it's loud, dude. It's just that song, Suicide. It just can't take it, man. You know. And he was fucking really upset about it. And I don't know if it was the subject matter or it hit, hit a nerve or what the fuck. But he was fucking not
Not
stoked on it at all. And it's a cop. What are you gonna tell him? Go fuck yourself, dude. We're gonna play. So we had to stop.
Right.
But yeah, it's funny. Like, yeah, it's funny you said that. You like that song? Yeah. It's a good song. I like the. It's just that's the second song that Kody wrote when we started writing these albums, like these new songs.
Okay.
And the first one he wrote was "I Hate the Beach Boys."
Yeah, that's a good song too. Yeah.
And I was at his house, and like he's like, "Listen to this shit," So he plays it, and I'm like, "What is this, dude?" It's like Sack. I'm like, "Fucking doesn't sound like Sack, but I'm into it."
Right.
And that's when he asked me, "You want to play the drums?" And I said, "Fuck, I'd love to," And Suicide was the second song. I think Banana might have been the third one.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Man. Like I said, I think everything on there is really freaking cool, man. More I'm listening to it, the more I'm like, yeah, this is a good song.
It's very diverse. It's like all over, like it's not just like a punk sound or like a rock sound.
Exactly. There's different. You can see there's different influences.
Right. And it's got everything. So it passes through everything someone has heard from when they were young until now. Like every single band. So that's one of the main reasons I love this band. It's just how diverse it is, and it's just a good time.
When you talk about influences or whatever, I mean, Sack is kind of like a super group when you have Lillingtons and
Right.
Bottlerocket in there. Is it difficult to establish your own sound when you have those two forces coming together?
I don't feel that way, and the reason being is mainly because, well, as you can hear, it's very different from one or the other. But we also have Ray playing bass, which is not something he does in Bottlerocket, so it's completely different. And he's not singing. Kody is just more focused on just the singing. He doesn't play anything in this band. So, and we have, then the rest of us, are like, but I mean, yeah, you can't, when you hear Kody singing, it's like the same singer as Lillingtons and Bottlerocket, so there is some of that.
Right, but I think that there is an aggressiveness in Kody's voice on Sack.
Yeah, absolutely. That is not in either other band. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so it's like his aggressiveness in these songs, I think, is what gives it more of that edge that does separate it from Lillingtons or Bottlerocket.
Correct. Yeah, there are some songs like "Used to Give a Shit" and like even "LARP." They have that kind of Lillingtons sound to me a little bit, but "Give a Shit," the actual song was written by my brother. So and then Kody does all the lyrics, but it's like you said, I think it's like heavier, like it has a hit, but it's got the same drum, like the drums are like kind of the same pattern in a way, like you have the same fast 8-note type, sticking, like that's what I'm doing, that it tends, it's more oriented to like Bottlerocket, but there's also, the Brandon was the drummer, from Sack. So there's a lot. I think at that point it was a little more, the first record. It's more in that kind of sound, like kind of Lillingtons, but a little more developed.
Gotcha.
I think, Lillingtons is like one of my favorite bands. So when Kody asked me to do this, I was fucking excited as fuck. I think I had to go change my shorts after he asked. But it was, it was like a big thing for me because I was like, those are some big shoes to fill, going after, playing after Brandon has been the drummer is not, it's intimidating in a way,
Yeah.
like it's not easy, it's like, fuck, this drummer is a shredder, and now I gotta go do this, but it's been a great experience, and like I'm very happy that happened to me, because there was a show that Chuka couldn't do, and for a skater con in Arizona, and the guys asked me if I would play with, fill in for Chuka, and I was like, fuck. I wanted to say no because I'm like, well, I don't think I can, He's such a fucking beast, but then I was like, well, Chuka asked, so I think he probably sees that I can maybe, I could probably do it. So I was pretty stoked when they asked me to do that, and it was a great time, man. I was super nervous because, I didn't want to let the boys down, but and I never had a rehearsal with like the whole band. I practiced with Kody, I think, maybe a couple of times in my plays, and then once at Ray. But I'm like at Ray's was kind of like a nightmare because I forgot to bring half of my shit, and I figured, well, I'll just use Milo's stuff, And he didn't have a throne and like this and that, and like the hi-hat is like the old Brandon's fucking hi-hat that he toured with all over the world with, and so it's all beat up and shit. I'm like, dude, I'm not comfortable. Like I'm not at the right height to play with these drums, and I don't know what the fucking hi-hat is doing. The drum pedal is not my favorite, so that one didn't even count, so, and then they were on tour, so I couldn't really practice. And because this one was just an off show out of that tour in Arizona, so it was weird, but it turned out good. I think I only fucked up a song, like, and that was it. Which I'm okay with that. I think everyone was. I mean, there wasn't any other options. But yeah, it was fun, man, to be with the boys and hang out up in Arizona. I mean, it was fucking hot. Fucking ridiculous, but it was fun, a bunch, I mean, there's a bunch of skaters, like pro skateboarders, so it was fun to see, Steve Caballero on the side of the stage just checking out Bottlerocket, with me on drums. I mean, it was like fucking insane, or fuck, I don't know, everyone was there. It's a big thing,
Do you feel that makes you up your? Do you feel that makes you up your game when asked to step in and fill shoes like that?
100%. I mean, you have to. I mean, Chuka is like a touring drummer. So he's so well prepared for all these shows that when you see him play with Bottlerocket, it's like, fuck, dude, how do you do half of this shit? Because the other half is like, I will never be able to duplicate. So you have to like do your best to try to sound like he sounds, which it was very hard. And not only that, then I had to learn all of Brandon's songs.
Yeah.
Which is another fucking ripper, so it was crazy, but I was happy that I was asked, and it went well.
I imagine that's that set list has got to be pretty extensive.
Fuck, dude, these dudes have started with one song and they ripped through like 5 of them in one whack.
Yeah,
before they break, and they're like, I don't know, probably on the 2 to 20 BPMs.
Wow.
So by the time I'm on the second song, I'm already tired.
You're
and I have like 20 more to go, So I don't know what that something, like I guess the human body just
takes over,
pushes you, like it's just like you either do or you don't, so if you're going to do this, you find the strength and the endurance and the stamina to get through a Bottlerocket set. Yeah. It's fucking not easy, and they go on like, I don't know, fucking 3-4 weeks, and every night, I mean, Sack was just kind of the same thing, it's we ripped through 6 songs before we stop. From the beginning, and they're like, fucking the hardest shit, you know, like super fast, you know, One Hell of a Party, into King of the Beach, into Let's Get Blind, Rat Biker. So, you know, I'm going fucking fast. And but you know, everyone else is. So, you know, that's when that kicks in, you know, like you can't, that's what sets you apart from other drummers, you know, like you either do or you're gonna tell your band, well, can we do 2 songs and then say something, then we'll go because I get tired. That's some pussy shit. Like I'm not gonna do that. You know, if these boys wanna rip through fucking the whole set without stopping, I'm fucking on it. You know, but I also do my fair share of fucking practicing, you know, and I mean I rip through my drums every day, you know. I love them. I mean, I've been playing drums since I was 8.
Wow.
So it's been a long time, but I think yeah, it's fun. You know, this style is not easy to play. You know, it doesn't seem like, and I'm not very, you know, like I have a very simple kit. You know, like 4-piece, single pedal. You know, I don't have like a fucking cymbals everywhere and like drums everywhere and a fucking gong behind me and a fucking cage or rack, whatever the fuck, you know. I think all that's stupid, but and I'm actually trying to get rid of my rack tom, man. I got, you know, it's just one less thing to carry, but you know, the less amount of fucking shit you got to move, the more time you have to party.
Yeah.
Is how I look at it, you know. So yeah.
Or you just need one more person in the van to carry your shit for you.
I mean, that'd be ideal. The
Yeah.
problem is just getting in the van, you know. It's just.
Well, the
I like
tandem
to-
guy can help you out with that,
Yeah,
right?
you need
Yeah, you know, we should start taking them on the tours.
You know?
I just like to stretch, you know. I like to stretch in the van and like lay down in the whole bench if I can. And we can't, you know. Like this last tour, we didn't take a trailer, so we had everything in the van. I'm like, man, we should have just grabbed a trailer and then I can stretch my legs, you know. Some of those drives were like, you know, 7 hours, 8 hours. So just sitting in one position is fucking tough, man. And then, you know, you fall asleep and your neck hurts, your back hurts, your arms hurt. You know, I'm saying, playing drums, you know.
already driving.
Yeah, you're hurting and right before you got to play. So, you know, but then again, you know, we always keep the spirits high. I mean, it's just so much fun, you know, on the road, even when there's setbacks, you know, like something's wrong with the van or like when we started in Casper this last tour and then back to Denver. And then the fucking check engine light goes on. Some fucking wire that goes into the spark plug wire was touching some piece of metal that was hot and fucking burned through and this and that. And we're at fucking some bar on East Colfax, you know, on a weekend. Who the fuck is gonna come fix it? Hold on, here's that thing again. Oh, it so happens that my brother Felipe, the guitar player, has this like really cool friend that's a master mechanic, you know. And, you know, we call him just to see, hey, dude, like, how do we fix this? You know, like, is there anything you can, how can you help us, you know, like getting through this? Because we went and bought parts and everything. And he's like, fuck, dude, I'll grab some tools and I'll be right there. And this dude is fixing the van as we're loading, you know, and shit. So even that was like kind of fun, you know. It was a good tour, so I'm looking forward to Laguardia. Like the tour before that too was awesome, you know. So I think it's gonna be a good tour. I'm stoked to play with Laguardia, obviously, and strung out. I think that's gonna be fucking rad.
Yeah, that's a good lineup. That sounds like it's gonna be a fun show.
It's like a big deal, you know. 30 years of a band. And I believe we're playing like some of the coolest shows because we play Dallas and Austin, Vegas, you know, and then San Diego, Ventura, San Diego, and Pomona.
Yeah, that's some good cities right there, man.
I mean, you know, for a small band like us, booking California, it's like fucking impossible.
Yeah.
We're going as a support tour or with support as a support band, you know.
Ruben, you're in Colorado. The scene
Yeah.
you said it's a good scene and everything. Are there some bands that, you know, some of our listeners should try to check out? Is there some bands you can?
Yeah, there's this band here called Fly Kamikaze that I've been really getting into. It's really good. So that's one to check out for sure. They just got done recording, and they should have a record out soon. There's another band that I really like called Fast Eddie.
Fast Daddy.
Yeah, they're like more like they have that, to me, that kind of 70s rock and roll style and sound. Very, very, very rocking band. And I love the guitar players, like what they do. They sound awesome, and the songwriter, of the band it's really talented. I think that's a great band for someone to check out. And they're going to Europe, so I just saw that. The Potato Pirates are another band that I really like. They're more like a ska punk band, sort of, but they're great. I'm not big on ska, but I like this band. This band they're like kind of like that too, like a 77 rock, like punk rock, like that like kind of look and style. But they throw some, and they have like the singer plays the bagpipes.
Yeah.
So it makes it, dude, it's like really cool. It's like a whole show to go see it. There's a ton of bands in Denver, tons and tons of bands. But yeah, those are some of the ones I like.
Cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. We
Yeah.
we always want to push a scene.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you guys can check out Bricheros, that's my other band. It's Bricheros.
Okay.
That's it spells Bricheros.
Okay.
That's more like it's like a Ramones core
Okay.
pop punk band.
All right.
A lot of Ramones influences, Screeching Weasel.
Are you playing drums in that also?
Yeah, that's like a Lookout type band. Yeah, it's me, my brother that's in Sack, and then this guy George, but he's out in Hollywood. He lives in LA.
Okay.
So whenever we can get together, we're playing a show with the Queers and Bottlerocket actually in October here in Denver
Oh, okay. Cool.
for the 40 years of the Queers. We love the Queers. We always play when they come through town. We're waiting for Joe to take us out soon. He fucking owes us that.
Thank God, right?
Yeah, and yeah, man. I mean, yeah, Denver has a really good, not only punk, but rock and metal. Like there's fucking music here for everybody. And it's a rad place. The city's rad. And like within the scene, there's everyone knows each other. They're all very.
Yeah.
Everyone helps each other as much as we can, just to like try to get ahead.
Well, and I think that's what makes a scene.
Right, 100%.
They
Yeah,
help one another.
yeah.
There's not a competition.
No, not by any means. I mean, fuck, I'm 42 years old. My competition days are over. They have been for a long time. I think competition, that just brings out the worst in everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not a healthy thing. Even though they say it is. Well, you got to be competitive. No, you don't. You just got to be good. And mind your own fucking business.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some haters too. Just like every scene, you're gonna have. You can't have good if you don't have bad, because somehow has to balance. So, but yeah, there's some douches into it that like to talk shit, but they kind of stay in their basements there with their moms. So, yeah, we have a few of those, but not very many, luckily. But yeah, they have to be there. Otherwise, who's there to talk shit? They'd be just too good.
All right. Not everyone will love you. Not everyone.
Exactly, and we don't want that either.
Not everyone will love your band.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, I'd like to see what the record does by the end of the year. Like how many streams we get. If we're getting other places, like you never know who's listening to your music. It could be some kid in fucking Malaysia, or fucking whatever town, with the internet, you get everywhere.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, how many people was listening and paying attention, and how many people liked it. You know, we don't, you know, if someone doesn't like it, we don't really give a shit, you know. But it'd be nice to know, you know, what kind of how the record is doing, you know. Well, I mean, we also have a record label, so we want to make sure that they, you know, they get the exposure that they need, I suppose, or like the record does, you know, in order to, I mean, you know, everything turns out to be money anyway, you know. You got to press a record. I don't even know how many thousands of dollars that is. I had the last one I did for Richeros wasn't too expensive, but we only got like 300 records, you know, and or maybe 500. I can't remember.
Okay.
Maybe it was 500. And luckily, you know, we were able to sell most of it. You know, I have a few that I want to keep, that I don't want to, you know, like I want to like keep at least 50 records.
Okay.
You know, I mean, that I won't sell for whatever reasons. You know, like something happens with the band years from now. Hey, you know, I got first edition Bricheros from the first pressing. You know, like $100. You know, whatever, you know, like musicians don't make any money. So when there is an opportunity, you have to take it, unfortunately, you know. And some people do appreciate that kind of stuff, you know. That's why I was, like I was saying, I like to have the physical copies, not the bullshit, you know, like the streams and shit, because I got a lot of records that, you know, from all bands and shit that are very valuable to not only me, but like actually like market price, you know, like a first edition Dead Boys, you know, I don't know how much that will cost, or a first edition Lookout fucking Anthem for a New Tomorrow from His Christian was, you know, that's at least a $150 record, you know what I mean? If you can find it, you know, in good condition. So that's the main reason why, like, you know, people ask me for records. I'm like, man, I sold out. You know, I only have 50 that I'm not fucking letting go. You know, if nothing ever happens, then fuck, I'll burn this some bitches. But if something does, then, you know, I'm not gonna regret keeping them. And then we did a little live one too with Richeros that came out on a label from Denver. That one did really well. I think the label was kind of impressed on how quick we sold those, because I fucking sold those out. I kept a few, but I don't have very many. You know, probably like 10 or 12. And it was a really cool record. You know, I wanted it on hot pink, but somehow came blood orange is what we got. I don't know how the fuck you go from hot pink to blood orange, but that's what happened. And a buddy of mine did the art. I'll have to send you guys some shit, or if you look it up, it's really cool, man. And the sound for that live record was really good. Even though we were on tour and we played Peru, and fuck, it was like a shithole venue, like a hole in the wall. Fucking, the drums were fucking destroyed, you know. Yeah, man. It was one cymbal was all fucking broken, you know. And I don't have, you know, when we do tours internationally, I don't bring a lot of stuff because, you know, customs is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So I try to borrow shit or rent it. You know, for this one, I had fucking my drumsticks and whatever I borrowed from the other bands that wasn't any better. But for some reason, you know, it's just all your mindset, I guess. You know, when you want to do something, you just do it. Yeah. It fucking came out sick, you know. And we came back from that, and I was like literally sleeping, and this dude hits me up, and he's like, with a clip of that fucking a piece of song, you know, from that show. And I go, oh, cool, dude. I was like, man, thanks for going to the show. I'm glad you got some out of it, you know. And he's like, I have the whole show recorded, and it sounds okay. And I said, well, I'm sure you want money, you know. He goes, $100, dude, I'll send it to you. I go, you're fucking on, dude, send it. You know, so I sent him $100. That's how much it costs to like record that, you know, $100.
So,
and
so it wasn't recorded from the board?
I don't know how he recorded it. I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't think there was a fucking board. That's how,
right.
You know, that's how fucking
iPhone recording.
shitty this was, you know.
Okay.
But you know, he had it in, it's on Spotify. You can listen to it. So we took that to the recorded to my brother's recording studio here in Denver, and
Cleaned it up there.
he cleaned it up a little bit, and he's like, "Yeah, I can work with this," you know. I said, "Well, let's do a live record." And you know, I was talking to this guy Chuck that plays in a band called Spells here in Denver, and you know, I was telling him, "Yeah, you know, we got this recording, and I'm gonna try to see if someone wants to put it out because you know the Richeros don't have a huge budget right now." He said, "Well, I'll be interested," you know. And I said, "Really?" And I said, "Well." I said, "Dude, you haven't even listened to it, you know?" Because I'm thinking maybe once he listens to it, he'll be like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
So he was really stoked, put it out, you know. He was really easy to work with, also, you know. But then, you know, we got out of that label. With Richeros, I like to do everything just very DIY, super independent, and so we're recording soon, you know, and it's cool. Like, you know, we always have parties with like Sack and Richeros and Bottlerocket.
Cool.
You know, it's like always a good time, you know, and that's probably why Sack is such a party band. It's just so much fun.
Cool. Well, Ruben, listen, man, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you coming on and taking the time.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. How do I like watch this, dude? Like, is there like a?
Yeah, we'll send you the link to the YouTube channel.
Okay, cool.
Get it all cleaned up.
Yeah.
And anyone, we do replay. The whole show gets replayed Tuesdays from 5 to 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to listen again.
Yeah, the boys were asking me, where do we see this shit? I says, dude, I'm still trying to figure it out. Zoom.
Right.
You know?
Listen, when Brigero's, you know, you have something that you're recording, man, let me know because we'd love to get you back on and let's give it a listen.
Yeah, dude. I will send you some links.
Cool.
And for all the music and stuff, and you know, I'll send you guys some records and shit.
Yeah, man, we'll get it on the air for you, and we're always looking for new music, and you know, it was a blast having you on. And
yeah, man, I'm glad we were able to figure this out.
Yeah,
because I was thinking, like, what is it, like 12:30 over there, 12:40?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's about when I was like, you know, I figured out 11. I got time, man. You know, like maybe when you texted me, I was like, oh fuck, I forgot the time zone difference. It's so fucking crazy, and I was like, literally getting out of bed.
Oh man, that's all right.
But I'm glad it worked out, man. I mean, you know, I'm excited. You know, it was pretty cool. Thanks for the time, man. Thanks for the love towards Sack, man. We love it.
Cool, man. Yeah, we're gonna keep playing it, and I'll send you all the information.
Yeah.
You get this.
Sure.
Yeah, please. You know,
we'll stay in touch for sure, man. We'll do something else.
Get you back on. We'll talk Richeros. So.
Fuck yeah, man. It's stoked. You guys have a great fucking Sunday, man.
Thank you, everyone. Ruben from Sack, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys, and you know, best wishes for everything you guys get into.
We'll talk soon. All right.
All right, man. Take it easy. Thanks again. See you later. Later on, man.